Well, I'm back with another video. Okay, maybe you guys have seen this article already, written by Joseph Farah. It's called Pray Obama Fails, that came out on January 19th, 2009. I wanted to do a video on this sooner, but I just didn't get around to it. Here it says, many American Christians believe, as an article of faith, that we are to pray for the success of our leaders. It has become a sort of conventional wisdom among soft-minded believers. The biblical proof text for this misguided way of thinking is Romans 13:1-4. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of God. The powers that be are ordained of God. Whosoever therefore resisteth the power resisteth the ordinance of God, and they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation. For rulers are not a terror to good works, but to the evil. Wilt thou then not be afraid of the power? Do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise of the same. For he is the minister of God to thee for good. But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid, for he beareth not the sword in vain. For he is the minister of God, a revenger to execute wrath upon him that doeth evil. What could be more clear-cut? At face value, it would seem the Bible is telling us government is a God-ordained good, and that we are not to resist its terrors. Many a coward has been bolstered in his conviction against challenging tyranny by not reading too deeply into the scriptures. Yet nowhere does the Bible ever suggest evil rulers are to be obeyed. When the rule of men conflicts with the commands of God, the Bible leaves no doubt about where we should stand. That's why I do not hesitate in calling on godly Americans to pray that Barack Hussein Obama fails in his efforts to change our country from one anchored on self-governance and constitutional republicanism to one based on the raw and unlimited power of the central state. It would be folly to pray for his success in such an evil campaign. I want Obama to fail because his agenda is 100% at odds with God's. Pretending it is not simply makes a mockery of God's straightforward commandments. So you will not see me joining in the ritual of affirming Obama and his mission in public or private prayer this week or any other week. Instead, I uphold the words of Jesus in Matthew 15:14. Let them alone. They be blind leaders of the blind. And if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into the ditch. And I take warning from Isaiah 9:16. For the leaders of this people cause them to err, and they that are led of them are destroyed. And please don't tell me about rendering unto Caesar. It's important to consider the circumstances and the audience behind Jesus' instructions to render unto Caesar. The Sadducees were attempting to trap Jesus into advocating open contempt for Caesar. He recognized their wicked and hypocritical little game and answered them with a totally truthful response that astonished everyone. But think about it. There are two components to Jesus' words. We are to render unto Caesar the things that are Caesar's, but we are also to render unto God the things that are God's. Well, everything ultimately belongs to God. But most of all, this injunction by Jesus instructs us that government laws cannot trump God's laws ever. If government commands you to do evil, as a Christian you must resist. There's no alternative. Citing the render unto Caesar line is an apologetic for accountability to God. Nothing more, nothing less. Furthermore, it needs to be pointed out that in America we don't have a Caesar. Never have, never will. You see, our system of government is called a free republic, and it is based on the concept of constitutional self-government. We have no rulers in America, except ourselves and our God. We believe in the rule of law, not the rule of men. This is an important distinction, not a semantic one. Nowhere in the Bible does it teach us to obey evil rulers. Nowhere. This is a time for principled biblical resistance, not phony Christian appeasement.